Sonia, in terms of local fund action, there is a lot going on. NFOs, thematic funds, what's going on?
Absolutely. So I think, this is the market where thematic funds have come back in vogue, right? So we had a lot of that this week, and I wanted to talk about it in detail, but let me just go straight to the big wall. Now, in the last fortnight, a lot of fund houses have launched theme-based funds. So we're going to just put a little bit of focus on that. We start off with Kotak that launched a business cycle fund where they will dynamically rotate portfolios within different sectors. But the two funds that interest me, the NFOs, were one was ICICI Pru, which launched a transportation and logistics fund. And IDFC as well launched the same fund, a transportation and logistic fund, where they're talking about autos, auto components, logistics, and rapid urbanization, which is accelerating growth in the transportation industry. All right, so let's focus on this theme itself, the transportation and logistics theme, and we've already seen big moves come in individual stocks here. Now, here's the story, right? India's per capita income is definitely on the rise. There is a room for rise in discretionary spends as well. There is premiumization that everyone is talking about. And the average salary has gone up by 23.5% in 2022 after lying flat for the last many weeks and months. Now, just look at this graph. Right, for the last about 10 years or so, we've seen the rise in average salary anywhere between about 6% all the way to 12.5%. In 2022, India Inc.'s average salary rose 23.5%. Maybe not yours and mine, but definitely on an average, right, the salary has gone up. Now, this is, of course, we're talking about individuals, but if you look at the per capita GDP, right, it was in FY22 about, it's expected to rise from about $663 billion in FY05 all the way to 4,891. So that is what we're looking at in terms of the per capita GDP. And if you look at the auto penetration, right, that's the big theme that everyone's talking about. Now, the number of cars per 1,000 persons, and this is, of course, not an apples-to-apples comparison because it's very different for developed countries, but India has only 24 cars per 1,000 people compared to any developed market that you look at, whether it's China, USA, UK, all are much higher than about 100. So this just goes to show that there could perhaps be, some more growth opportunities here. Number of two-wheelers as well. This is, of course, not cars, but this is number of two-wheelers. That as well is, there's a big penetration story over there. Now we'll go to the logistics market. There's a structural story there emerging in the logistics market. India's logistics market currently is at $216 billion, and only 3.5% of this is for organized players. So the story here is that there will be a big move from the unorganized to the organized market, and hence the logistic market will grow in size. In FY20, the size of the logistic market is $216 billion. It's expected to grow all the way to $365 billion by FY26. At the cusp of a turnaround is the auto sector. So, of course, there are plenty of stocks that you'd look at over here, whether it's M&M, whether it's Tata Motors. But, just if you drill it down, there's the auto ancillary space, there's the whole logistics theme, and that's why there are many NFOs that we're seeing in this space. Back to you guys.
All right, Sonia, thank you very much for that. It's very interesting. Lots of niche funds coming up, lots of activity, lots of interest there.